Well, hi there my friends on YouTube. Today a little video about this guy, the Ganzo Fb760, and how to maintain this knife. What I experience is that these axis lock or G-lock knives from Ganzo can be a bit difficult to disassemble, so I thought I'd try and make a quick and dirty way to take it apart and lubricate it and maintain it without actually taking it completely apart, because it is a bit difficult to put together again. You just end up with a lot of parts, and they can be a bit bitchy to assemble again, put together again, because you even to take apart, because they use a lot of Loctite inside the screws, and in fact inside the knife there are a lot of tubes that the screws, threaded tubes that the screws go into, and even if you get one side apart, it gets much more difficult to get the other side apart. So I have a sort of a quick way to take it apart and get it maintained and lubricated. And so without further ado, I'll just try that. The knife just gets even better than what it was before, but I'll show you. The first thing you do is get your trusty screwdriver, your Torx, in this case was a Torx bit driver, and then you sort of have to feel your way which side gives, and I tried one side and now I tried the other, and this one actually, of course I tried this before, but this side actually gave in. But it might just as well be the other side. Just be warned, because as I said, the pivot is a threaded tube and screws in both sides. Now this gave in, and I can unscrew it, take it out, and then I might be able, I'll just try, I might be able to put my driver inside the pivot, and perhaps I just have to loosen. It is a D shape, so it won't be free spinning, but it might be just a bit jammed inside, and we might just have some luck just pushing it, and as you might see, I just got it pushed a bit out, but it is very tight. So I'll just do another thing to loosen everything up a little bit. I'll get a Torx 6 and put it here, and then I'll take the other screws out. Just keep in the camera, and that's one, and this was the other. And now when you have done this, the scale is actually loose, but they put some oil inside that actually it sort of makes it makes some sort of suction, so that it actually feels like it's stuck or glued even. But it isn't. You just have to apply a bit of muscle, and then this I didn't put any oil on this time, but then the scale goes off, and you can have a look at the omega spring, which is here. And this, under normal circumstances, if you wanted to completely disassemble, you would have to take the spring off, which is just done by taking it out of this hole, and then off this the lock here. But the difficult part is that you have to do exactly the same on the other side, and sometimes it's just it won't go out, it won't unscrew on the other side because of some Loctite. This is the case with this knife, so I tried to invent a different way. You can just notice that here, if you want to take it completely apart, you have to remove the spring and then pull this the lock bar all the way down here, and then it falls out and everything falls apart. But I will leave it as it is, and now it's sort of loosened a little bit, so I might be able to just push a bit on the, and if there's a problem you can also just try to loosen the pivot a little bit, and then yeah, as you can see, it might be a good idea to put some tape on the blade. I didn't, and I didn't cut myself, but you might. And then you actually have the blade and even the nice bearings, which are pocketed, which makes it very easy to put it back together, because there's a pocket for the bearings, so they are nicely kept in there. Now, I had this apart before, so I gave it a little bit of heavier grease just to keep the bearings inside. And as you can see, now the pivot went through, but I can just take it out and make it keep it flush with the other liner. Then I can take my Q-tip and put it inside if I wanted to. I have already done it, and clean it up inside, and I can even put some lubrication inside there if I want to, but I might just as well put it on the blade in here and on the other side, and then I can just put the blade back, and I'll have to align it a little bit with the pivot, and I just apply some pressure with at the pivot on the other side. And if it is still a bit fidgety, I can take the lock bar and just push it a little bit back, and then it came through, and the knife is actually put back together. And then I'll just put in the scales. Oh, sorry, the scale. Like this. And please bear in mind that the two screws for the scale, the smaller screws, are actually different sizes, so be aware and take a note of where they came from. I know, but be aware. I have a magnetic screwdriver, so Torx driver, so I'll just put it here. And we might have to get a different bit, Torx bit, and we put it. And this very fine knife actually has so nice tolerances that you might just tighten it, with 2 fingers, and yeah, and the knife is free falling, and as you can see, very nice with the lubrication, but it was even before. But now just a little bit of grittiness was removed, because I removed a little bit of metal dust or whatever inside the knife, and this was the easy way. You can do that with every Ganzo access lock, but be aware that the ones with washers, you really have to make everything align. And that's not so easy, because the washers are of course not pocketed the way the bearings are on this one. So, but still a nice little trick if you don't want to take the whole knife apart, which can be a bit of a hassle. But yeah, you can use it if you want to. That's how I did, and it was, as you might see, very, very quick. And with this, have a nice day, evening, whatever it is in your country. Bye bye.